going to move to our next page there, and it says, page 15, 12 steps to creating an effective ad. Okay. Make sure that the ad is easily recognizable. We talked about that. Use a dominant element. Make sure that when you look at the ad, you can tell maybe what they're advertising. Maybe it's the heading. Maybe it's free offer. Maybe it's grand opening sale. Too often ads have a whole bunch of things, and there's not one central thing that you can focus in on. So make sure that it has some kind of a dominant element in the ad. Use a simple layout. You saw some of those ads that were just cluttered with everything, and it honestly will not get the response that you really want. Use a simple layout. Use a prominent benefit headline. Don't just say sale, say save 50% this weekend. Okay? Some kind of a benefit headline. Let your white space breathe for you. Too often we say, well, there's a little bit of white space, let me put some copy in there. Right? This is an advertising salesperson's nightmare, right? Where you have to go in there and cram everything in with some kind of copy. Let your ads breathe. You want them to survive, let them breathe. Let there be white space in there. Make your copy complete. State price or range of prices. Also, specify branded merchandise. Include related items. Urge your buyers to buy, your readers to buy now. Develop a uniqueness about your business. Design ads that can be easily or can be immediately identified. You have to, in your ads, follow what is called the AIDA principle. AIDA principle. A-I-D-A. AIDA principle. What is the AIDA principle? First of all, you've got to grab their attention. Okay? Then you have to create some kind of interest. Then you have to make them want to desire it. And then you have to have some kind of call for action. AIDA. Every ad should have some kind of call for action. Exception to this might be a yellow page ad or something like that. But even those would very well take some kind of call for action. But grab their attention, talk about your features, and that's the interest. Then talk about how the benefits can be of value to you. That's the desire. Make them want it. Make them want it from you. And then with the action, make them want it from you now. Say things like, for 3 days only, while supply lasts. Hurry in for best selection. Don't wait and be sad that you did. Okay? Those kinds of things. Now you're going to have an opportunity of winning some space to maybe put into the newspaper. At the end, as we mentioned, it's going to be a drawing. And I have up here there's going to be a half-page ad, which is, depending upon what kind of an agreement you might be on, or if you are, or if you're not, worth $500 to $800 for you. And that'll be over a period of time, because we know frequency is better than just one half-page ad. And then there'll be a drawing for 2 quarter-page ads, $250 to $400, depending upon what kind of an agreement that you might be on. So make sure that you put a little prayer in between now and the time we draw for, the good Lord. On page 16A, we inserted a page there, 30 reminders for effective copy and layout. You can read through those. I think it's very important for you to remember that you have to do things right if you're going to get the response you want. And then on next page 16B, who is your target audience? What does your product do? If you can follow this format and say, okay, here's the features of my product or my service, and here are the benefits, and you go through all of those, you're going to be able to write good copy. Many times people say, I don't know how to write good copy. Just follow this page right here, because this tells it all. Okay, who is your target audience? What does your product do? What are its features and benefits? And then you have a listing of them. When will your prospect need or want your product? Where can your prospect buy your product? Where can it be serviced? Why should your prospect buy it? Why should they buy it from you? Why should your prospect buy it now? And how much does it cost? So those things, follow that, you're going to be much better off. Okay? Page 17, the 10 most frequently used words in effective advertising headlines. Okay? You, your, how, new, who, money, now, people, want, and why. Those are the most popular most frequently used in headlines. You can also see that the most persuasive words in headlines in advertising on page 17. Suddenly, now, announcing, introducing, improvement, amazing, sensational. So these are some words that you might want to use. The most persuasive phrases in advertising: yours free, free gift, booklet free, ask for free, literature free, money-making facts, free trial lesson, free to new members, free examination. Okay, these are things that you can use, and these are great persuasion phrases. All advertising should follow the AIDA principle. We mentioned that: attention, interest, desire, and action. Immediate action words and phrases: act now, don't delay, order now, don't put off, send today, get started today, investigate today, be the first, rush your order in today, etc. So you have to make sure that your advertising promotes and your advertising pushes these customers to the phone or pushes them out of their lazy boy chair into their car to drive down. Too often the ads just say, well, come in at your convenience and we'll be here. And there's not going to be any real effect. We talked, yeah.
And gimmicks is being used now. I know that several products is, you have the big word free, and it talks about cholesterol. But you think you're getting something free from the product, something like that. But it's really cholesterol free. But the big word is free.
It's free, and you look into it, and then it says free of any cholesterol or something. Yeah. Their intent there is to get you into the ad. That's right. Yeah, yeah. And so therefore, they did it, I guess, didn't they? They did, yeah. Okay, step 6, determining a budget for your advertising investment. Choosing a right budgeting method. Okay, there are many different ways that you can choose to budget, but the one that I think is the most appropriate is number 7, a percent of gross sales. Where you sit down and you say to yourself, okay, how much money are we going to make next month, next year? And let's sit down and try to figure out a percent of gross sales for that. Now, there are national norms that you can follow. And I have up here a form that shows national norms. And I'm going to leave this with the newspaper. And if you'd like to come up and find out what your particular industry and national norms are, you may look at that. Be very careful with this. It might show that the national norm is 4.5%. And you say to yourself, gee, I'm running 7%. I better cut back. Maybe not. There are so many factors involved in that. How long have you been in the community? What kind of a reputation do you have? What is your location? How many different locations do you have? Are you on a busy street? Do you have a lighted sign? There are 21 different factors that influence what percentage of advertising you should be doing. But we'll provide this to the newspaper, and then you can come up and look at it and see what other industries similar to yours is doing. But again, I warn you, don't just follow this. You might have to be doing a lot more. They might be doing more than what you're doing, okay? I went to one market in Flint, Michigan. A jeweler there was doing 15% of gross sales on advertising. 15%. That's a little bit high. Other areas, I've gone and he said, well, gee, I do about 5%. So is 5% right or is 15% right? It depends upon your market, doesn't it? It depends upon all of these different factors. But at least we'll give you a guideline to follow. The proper budgeting strategy is to advertise a little above our valleys, so put that word in there, above our valleys and below our peaks. Whenever you sit down, you figure out your peaks and your valleys, and then you try to figure out how I should be advertising according to those peaks and valleys. Now, there are a few exceptions to this.